How about a little bit of German fabulousness? This week, the Volkswagen T-Cross. Volkswagen has introduced very quietly their new small compact SUV, and from any angle it looks absolutely smashing. Now oddly, Volkswagen have decided to name this T-Cross Life and Style for its two different models, Life being the entry-level model and this one being the top model. But even the top model can have stuff thrown at it. And both of them are 85 kilowatt direct selection gearbox models, so DSG, that's what DSG stands for with Volkswagen. These headlights include LED daytime running lights and indicators, but also there's 14 LED cells per unit that put the cars in front with their automatic high beam function into a pool of low light. So anything coming on is in a pool of darkness, whereas everything else on the road is well lit. And you can get a range of wheels as well, ranging from 16-inch through 17-inch to 18-inch, which this car has. And with the key in my pocket, I can just unlock it by putting my hand in the handle and lock it by pressing the little indentation on the door handle. This model's had everything thrown at it, including the R-Line package. There's plenty of room in the back, and Volkswagen says that this is market leading for this segment. Under the floor, there's a space saver spare tyre, and there's a mountain of space in there. They could actually have fitted a full-size spare in. And these seats go down 60/40. They also move forward a smidgen to give you an extra 60 odd litres of boot space. It is a little snug back here, I'm not gonna lie, but nonetheless, even with these Cuban heel boots on, there's still a few centimetres of space to the back seat, some map pockets, USB points, and a cute little cubby hole. Vision back here isn't too bad, but as you can see, the headrest takes up quite a lot of space, and you've got to keep doing that to see what's happening at the front. But in the front seat, I'm supremely comfortable. Like the newer Volkswagens, this has the newer Volkswagen entertainment screen. Down below, there's a place to charge your phone, a wireless place to charge your phone. The thing that I like about this interior is that although there's lots of hard plastic here and up here, over here on the dash, and even this, it all looks so classy. And this is my piece de resistance. This is Volkswagen's active display. Now, of course, the whole Volkswagen group has a different name for their digital dashboards. Active display, virtual display, etc., etc. But this is sensational. So you can have your Apple CarPlay playing over here, and up here you can have, as I've got here, the navigation plus the driver display here along the bottom. There's a view button. Pressing that view button will make the display change, and it rotates through a whole bunch of different options. But I like to have it with navigation and then a bar along the bottom with gear and speed and other driver relevant information. If you like this turquoise blue, you can have it for $800. $800. Normal pearlescent and metallic colors are $600. But you can have the driver assistance package for $1,200, the R-Line package, which this one has, for $2,500, and for $1,900 you can have the Sound and Vision package, which gets you the fancy dash and upgraded speakers. I've long been a critic of those suspension systems at the back that have torsion bar, but this one really is very good. It's got McPherson struts in the front, but this has no fancy drive modes. But it doesn't need them. Honestly, this is so brilliant that you really don't need to have anything extra. It does have a manual mode by slipping the gear selector to the side, but if you just leave it do its own thing, it is sensational. The gear changes are absolutely faultless. Now, taking off just then, I haven't felt a thing so far. I haven't felt a single shift, not one. But if you pull it back one more time, it puts it into sports mode. Now I can see on the dash, that I'm in sports mode and doing 72 kilometers an hour and I'm in fifth. What else do you need? If I want to change gears manually, I can at all times with the manual gear selectors, but frankly, I kind of don't need them very much. Currently, we're in rural New South Wales, and it's a beautiful, sunny Saturday afternoon. And this road, as dodgy as it is, will let you do 100 kilometers an hour. I'm sitting right on 100 now, and I feel like I'm doing much, much less. Don't know if you can pick it up or not, but the cabin is very quiet. Really, really quiet, in fact. That's taking these corners well, though the suspension errs on the side of comfort. So, as good as it is, it does get a bit roly-poly in the corners. I don't mind so much, it certainly doesn't lose grip. But because it's front-wheel drive on some of the, let's just say, more adventurous takeoffs at lights, it definitely scrambles for traction with the front wheels. Now, you'd think a 3-cylinder engine would be a little bit lackluster when it comes to performance. You definitely have to wait for the turbo to spool up. But that doesn't mean to say that it's in any way lacking in power, because it just isn't. Fuel consumption is around 5.4 litres per 100 kilometres. VW says, along with the boot space, that is also class leading for the segment. But I've always found with these small engines that you've really got to stick the boot in to get it to do anything, and this one is no different. The other thing is, I've got this visor down at the moment, and it really is very, very difficult to put over to the side. Also, there's a big space here, and the sun gets in there. It was getting in there before, and you can't kind of block it out. You've got to put a hand up. So that could do with some looking at. On country roads, it's sensational, but on the highway, it is absolutely brilliant. I'm just sitting here in my lane. The steering is keeping me centered in the lane. On top of that, I've got active cruise control, so it's always active, it's always switched on. So now I've turned it on, and it's keeping me a set distance from the car in front. But apart from that, there's active blind spot monitoring. So not only does it flash in the mirror, but it also stops you, or tries to stop you, from changing lanes if there's someone in your blind spot. Very, very handy. I've already mentioned the 3rd generation automatic parking, and there's autonomous emergency braking too. Although I think it's a bit twee of Volkswagen to call it the life and style. I mean, really? Lifestyle? But there's something about Volkswagen that I just love. I love the little treatment here on the dash. Yes, it's hard plastic, but it looks great. I like the sensible layout. I like the twin zone climate control with a sync button. And there's very few shiny surfaces in here. There's a little bit of piano black around the infotainment system, but other than that, it is all matte, so there's nothing to shine in your eyes late in the afternoon like it is now. Just one quick word on the sound system. I had this turned up really, really loud before. Obviously I can't do it now because YouTube will have a fit. But even at top volume, it didn't distort, which I think is just extraordinary. One thing, though, I do think it could do with a little bit more bass. Having said that, the sound is crisp and clear and clean. The seating is all manual adjustment, and I can live with that too. There's even lumbar support with a little manual lever here on the right-hand side of the driver's seat. I like the way this handles. I like the steering. Yes, it's a little bit light at low speed, but at high speed like this, it weightens up. There's lots of extra weight to it. Although I did find one little chink in the armour. Unlike many other Volkswagens, the reversing camera for this is under the handle and the tailgate, not concealed behind the Volkswagen symbol that kind of slips out to open up the boot. That means it can get schmutz on it. So earlier on in the week when it was pouring cats and dogs, it had rain all over it, so I couldn't actually see. But with all of the safety gear there, I think this is absolutely brilliant. Now this is the size of, say, a Polo or thereabouts, and it's in the same segment as Hyundai's Kona, Kia's Seltos. And it gets better fuel consumption than any of those, even the ones with 3-cylinder engines. And the other thing is, this is one of the fastest responding infotainment systems I've ever used. Here it is already on radio. Watch this. I press the button and it's on Apple CarPlay. Press the button again and it's just really, really fast. And that's it. That's your lot for the week. Volkswagen T-Cross, probably the best small to compact SUV on the market. If you've liked the film, don't forget, leave a comment, hit like, and above all, press this little round button just there to subscribe.